This is the Milo Sweet Podcast. It's time to get clear on what you want and get there quickly. Tired of being stuck? Ready to overcome? Want to do difficult? No more excuses. Let's start now. Welcome to the show. Hey, before we get started, I need your help. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, review, and share. You really like the show? Want to put your money where your mouth is? Click donate. I would love your support. My number one money suggestion is to pay your debts off. I know there is a big amount of information out there that's saying maybe you should or you shouldn't, or it's always good. Yeah, I will tell you from experience, there's nothing that feels like having no debt. I felt this feeling before 2020, but in 2020, going through 2020 with no debt, I can't tell you enough what that feels like. I couldn't imagine. Like, before 2020 came, I was crying at night about debt. I'm like, oh my goodness, is it ever gonna leave? It's always here. I really, really did not like it. And I want to encourage you that even in 2020, the first thing I would do, whether I lost a job or not, is I would start figuring out a plan to pay my debts off. If you have no debt, absolutely, that's great. This podcast may be for you to stay encouraged on not having it, or it may be for you to send to someone else. But I think that would be my advice. If you have debt right now, do practical math. Now, there's like a Dave Ramsey strategy. I didn't do this when I had debt. I found Dave Ramsey in the middle of paying off debt. I just kind of got really frustrated. I was like, I can't wake up 5 years from now and have this debt. It didn't matter. And on paper, it said it would take me 12 years to pay off my debt. I did not care what the paper said. I thought, you know what? We're going to figure out if you're right or I'm right. And I decided that I wanted to be right about that. So I figured out ways. If I got a gift card for my birthday, I would take that gift card and use it on something that was already on my list. If I could use the gift card to pay a bill, I would pay a bill. Like, it got real serious. I was counting pennies. Like, pennies. Have you ever counted pennies? Like, that's a lot of counting. So if I was 9 cents over, I was having an issue with that. It was a big deal. So if I could give you any advice right now, it would be to strategize to pay your debt off. Now, some people, after they pay their debt off, they're very strategic with a credit card. And I'm not one of those people. I felt like I'm done. I'm moving on to something else. If that's for you, I would definitely figure out an accountability system for after that. But I would say, here are my tips for paying off debt. First, I'll tell you what Dave Ramsey suggests, and then I'll tell you what I actually did. So Dave Ramsey suggests you list all your debts, smallest to largest, and then you tackle it that way, like the snowball effect. Before you do that, you save $1,000. And that $1,000 is to kind of get you through any rainy days. And then you start baby step 2, which is tackling that. I didn't really do that. I'm not against that. I think it's a phenomenal idea. And then baby step 3 is saving an emergency fund, like a larger one. What I did was I just paid off all my debt. I paid off based on stress level. So whichever one was stressing me out the most is the one I paid off. And I didn't have Dave Ramsey. I didn't have a strategy. I thought every time, or it was stress and calls. If there was a correlation between how much you were calling me and how stressed I was, I paid that off. There's probably better strategies, but that's what I did, because I think at the end of the day is do it. Like, just get it done. Get it done. So I wrote down all my bills. When I wrote them down, I called them to confirm the payment amount, which is tedious, but for me, it was like, I don't want to get this wrong. So I confirmed all the payment amounts, and then I put myself on a payment plan, the longest I could put myself on for each bill, whether it was a hospital bill, student loan, whatever the payment plan, I picked the minimum payment so that I could use all my money. So then each like every 2 weeks or each month, I would look at what bill I was most likely to pay off and which one was stressing me out the most. So sometimes it would be like, hey, for the next 6 months, I'm really going to focus on this hospital bill. For the next 3 months, I'm really going to focus on this small tuition loan or a portion of that. And that worked for me. His strategy is like, for Dave Ramsey, is that if you have a small win, it'll encourage you to have a big win, so that the smallest debts to the largest debts, it'll kind of have a snowball effect and kind of encourage you. I think it worked. I've seen it work. For me, my mindset was that it's going to work. So it didn't matter what strategy I had, it was going to work. And for me, I felt like I delivered even better because my goal said 12 years, and I think I finished paying off debt in a couple years, like maybe 3. And it was challenging, but it was my number one goal. Now, I didn't do anything else at that time. I didn't take out any other credit. I didn't take out any other loans. I didn't have a credit card. So I got completely rid of that. I used cash. That was super helpful. I used cash because I could manage it and I could feel my money. I wanted to do that. I know that's with COVID, everyone has a different view on that, but I definitely used cash. And then after that, I would kind of celebrate. Like, it could be something small, like $15-20. I would just do something that I really wanted to do, whether it was a lipstick or something that I really want in between. That's not suggested on the Dave Ramsey plan either, but I liked celebrating. I liked doing something I liked, and that was like good motivation. And then the other part was I figured out ways to make extra money. So I did everything from focus groups to mystery shopping to selling things to offering services. Whatever it was, I was able to do it. I did hair. Whatever. I was just doing things to bring in extra money. And I gave advice. I helped other people get out of debt. If I was 5 steps ahead of them, I was helping them and charging for it. So I would say get creative when you're trying to bring in more income, because income can help you pay off your debt faster. But the first thing is your mindset is that it's going to happen, because you're going to find hiccups. Your car might break down or things might happen. You might lose a job, and you have to stay motivated during that time. All right, now is the time to start paying off your debt, getting focused, and just put some things on hold. And when you're past that hurdle, I will tell you, there will be no peace of mind like it. It is amazing. That is all. This episode is sponsored by howtohomeschoolfromtheheart.com. Develop the mental mindset you need to homeschool your kids. Cultivate a learning environment you'll love and your kids will thrive in. Let's go to howtohomeschoolfromtheheart.com. All right, that's another episode in the books. Hello? I said it's over. Why are you still listening? Like, seriously, the episode is over. If you're still listening right now, you know what? You're probably a chronic procrastinator. Guess what? I'm still listening to. Come on, for real, seriously. We gotta go do something productive. No, like, for real. No, for real. Okay, you can keep listening.